Hello, I'm Elizabeth Karras with Tiedemann Wines.
And I'm Italiano from WEXS Wine Export Services.
So tell us about the Barolo this morning.
Barolo. Okay. Well, first of all, we all know that Barolo is called the king of the wines. But actually, why is called the king of the wines? Well, thanks to the Marchese of Barolo in Piedmont that put in action the first marketing strategy. Because actually Barolo, let's get back a little bit. Okay, Barolo is produced by a grape variety named Nebbiolo. Okay, Nebbiolo in Italian is the Italian for little fog, because October, the harvest time, around the hills of Piedmont, we have a little fog that covers the grapes. Okay, so you cannot see it. So unless you're just very close to the bunches. So Nebbiolo is the grape variety. Okay, Nebbiolo wines were not so famous at all. Actually, people didn't buy it, didn't like it. But the Marchese di Barolo had a great marketing idea. Piedmont was a kingdomship. Italian wasn't yet a republic. There was no Italian republic. There was no Italian state. So what she did, she shipped 365 bottles of wine, one per day, to the castle of the King of Italy. So, and because they had that wine there, what happened that every time the other kings from the other states of Europe would come there, they started to taste the Nebbiolo, actually, because, and so all of a sudden they liked the wine, and in all of the royal houses of Europe, we started to have the Nebbiolo, that later will become Barolo, because Camillo Benso of the Cavour, that was one of the aristocrats inside the royal house of Piedmont, started the movement for the unification of Italy. And he had a liaison with a lady in Bordeaux. And as we know, the Bordeaux people, winemakers, are very skilled in using the oak barrels. So Camillo Benso started to purloin the secret of the oak barrels from this lady. And so he wanted to try to age the Nebbiolo grape, the Nebbiolo wine inside the oak barrels. And so we had the Barolo. In fact, no wonder that the designation of Barolo actually comes after the AD 61, that is after the unification of Italy. As well as the Montalcino, Barolo is an indigenous, I would say, wine, and actually is made by the nature. It's not about the winemaker, it's only about the nature, because the winemaker cannot create anything else than what they have into the barrels. Now, they have a little leeway in the sense that they can play the time difference, how long the wine is going to be inside the oak barrels, well, they have to follow, first of all, the law. So the law says the Nebbiolo has to be aged at least 38 months inside the barrels, but they can play a little bit longer according to their taste or according to their philosophy. But make no mistake, Barolo as well as Brunello di Montalcino are wines produced just by the weather conditions and by the nature. That's why we call it terroir wines. And it goes well, very well. For instance, I want to talk to the American people. Let's forget for a moment Italian food. How can you pair perfectly Barolo with your food? The beautiful ribeye steak, the famous New York steak with the Barolo is absolutely perfect and outstanding.
Americans like our meat and potatoes, comfort foods.
Well, I will not just really drink Barolo with potatoes, but with meat, just with the Texan meat, so it's very thick and just juicy. So the Barolo is perfect.